In this video, we're going to cover our final workflow of the quality prediction use case. In this workflow, we want to combine the results of the three different models that we created in the previous step. To do this, we will first load in each of the datasets. You can see here on the left 2 of them. Then we will assemble our features into a vector, as this is necessary when using SparkML nodes. And then we will use the SparkML model load to bring in the specific model that relates to that dataset from earlier. Then we will use the Spark predict to test the model on our testing dataset. We will use the SQL node to then isolate the probability from each of the results. We use the find and replace and the cast and single type to further refine our output before joining all 3 of the models together and their results using the join on common columns node. Finally, we're using the math expression node to then take the average of the 3 probabilities that we created from our model outputs. We are using the case when node to then create a new column, our final output, which will determine whether the probability should be defined as a defect or not a defect. In this case, our threshold is 60%. Higher than a 60% probability means that we classify it as a defect, and anything less is not a defect. After that, we are dropping all of the columns which clutter up our output, and we are printing our final result using the print and rows node. Now let's take a look at the output. In this output, we have focused in on one specific item. Here we have the index of that item, which was the first item in our dataset. Then we have the probability of human error, the probability of a material defect, and the probability of a sensor failure. This is an interesting case, since we have a 100% probability of both a defect and a sensor failure, but our human error was only a 45%, giving us a final probability, or the average of the 3, of 82%. This 82% is above our threshold, so we have classified it as a defect. We can now use the same technique and plug in any number of items or any specific items that we want to check to see whether there is a high probability of them having a defect. This concludes our results from our quality control use case. If you want to see other videos, please check out the rest of our channel. Thank you for listening.